So I want to talk about some ideas I've had about how 3D printers could revolutionize the fashion industry, accessibility, and help the disability community a ton. I'm going to use a couple case examples. One is that it could make glasses, things like glasses or basic needs, a lot more accessible. So one of the main things glasses are made with is polycarbonate. Polycarbonate is a material that we are able to 3D print, not the best, and it's a type of plastic. Even we need to make 3D printers better, but potentially you could have a home one that could just 3D print the glasses, and it could be one solid big frame, which will make it a lot more strong and durable, resistant, and maybe you could even melt it down in the future with better recycling technology and remake it. You could also make other household necessities like toothbrushes, and you can toothpicks, screwdrivers, all those things instead of going to the store, which could help a lot of people that have issues going to the store, but also bring down the prices. Glasses right now are ridiculously priced. $100, over $100 for a cheap pair of lenses. You look at the lenses and sometimes they're comparable to an expensive phone with a computer chip with fancier lenses for the cameras and everything. But also you could have customizable glasses for sensory issues. And I'm going to talk a lot more about sensory issues, but sensory issues like sunglasses for lights that are too bright, or glasses that filter out potentially blue light, which might help people with headaches or migraines or help people fall asleep. You could have ones with maybe UV protection just cheaply. And more and more. Other things it could help with is maybe in the future you could 3D print clothes. Now this is a lot, 3D printing nice comfortable fabric is way beyond our current 3D printers for the most part, unless you design a very specific one. And then it's usually only to a certain type of fabric. But I'm talking about the future. You would have to design something that could either make threads of different various sizes or puff them up. Then you would have to either fuse them in complex patterns or sew or move it. But it's all possible, I think, in near future, not that far in the future. And that could make fabrics that helps a lot of people with sensory issues, which is a major deal. Many autistics do not like to wear a lot of clothing because of sensory issues. You could also, it could be a huge deal for people that have very sensitive skin that even the lightest touch can scratch them or cause bleeding or blistering, which there are medical conditions that do that. So sensory issues with clothes. Beyond this sensory clothes, it could help in other ways, like so you sense a fashion cheaply and stop the marketplace of fashion. Right now the fashion industry is huge. It's owned by a few big brands that really have a very exploitative practice outside the use of making clothes, but they set the industry standard for fashion. This will let people instead set the fashion themselves because they can print out whatever clothes they want. It's even that a whole industry about people maybe recommending clothes where people with different sensory issues or different feelings can talk to people and figure out what they want, or it can lead to help people express their identities from culture to different genders and everything. So it would lead to a huge branching of clothing types. Other things it could do beyond basic necessities again is it means people could have to go out less to stores or public where they might have nervous or problems with communications and nerve-wracking. Talking to people can be a huge barrier for a lot of people with disabilities. Sometimes they can be selective situationally mute, sometimes it can be just an organization issue, sometimes it can be a mobility issue. So it can help people that can't leave the houses as much. Another issue that this might help is that for some people, it might be a better idea in that you could customize prosthetics of people for certain body types at homes or make little your own inventions that work with devices you have, like a wheelchair compatible desk. Instead of looking at a fancy online store and finding it, you can just print it out, or a knife that has better grips for you so you're not trembling. So just something that's compatible with whatever disability you have. Also, this could revolutionize the design space. The design space is currently very limited to a certain group of people with access to certain technology. For example, can you design a new part, a toothbrush, or anything? No, but can you design a new engine? Can you do new modeling? Can you make statues at home? Like, all this stuff is harder for people, but a 3D printer could revolutionize that, and that means we could have more thinkers and tinkerers and people working at home and doing stuff, which could lead to a home DIY revolution, which could help a lot of people that are stuck at home, or it could help young kids learn to be more creative, or adults learn to be more creative. Another thing it could do is it might be more environmentally friendly in the long run. For right now, when we have to transport a lot of things, we transport, for example, let's say we're transporting shoes. Shoes take up a lot of space, and you have the packing material, so you have to transport with the packing material and the extra space that's just air. What if you could instead just transport a chunk of solid plastic? You don't have to cushion it or anything, just a chunk of solid plastic. You can pack it much more, you need a lot less cushioning and stuff, which would mean you save a ton of fuel on transportation. You could also start a new recycling industry that just melts down plastic and turns it more easily into whatever thing you need at home. And it doesn't really matter as much. Like, if you make a less durable screwdriver, but it's easily recyclable, it might still be a net benefit than a more durable screwdriver that's not recyclable. So it could have a potentially massive green savings. And I think what we need to do is talk more about these potentials, helping that designing 3D printers for helping the disabled community or helping people be more independent, and home DIY, and also the green savings as a potential future, not just some high-tech thing with makers working on that, but also putting in people's houses now so they can figure out how to use it. I would love to see a wiki or some page where they have a bunch of features and people becoming experts in this, so you can call up someone and they can help you through the process if you're not the best designer, or give you some ideas, or they can do the research for you. Just some quick ideas about how 3D printers could help people in the future make life more accessible. Thank you very much, and please like and subscribe to the channel. I have other videos that are much more STEMmy and with a lot more theory that explains everything from probability to evolutionary misconception. These are just the short, quick thoughts idea. Thank you very much, and please subscribe and leave a comment behind. It really helps.